Good day. I'm Russell Hendrickson. I'm the CEO here at Practical Data Solutions. And for the next few minutes, I'm going to be discussing with you how to drive urology practice excellence through data insights. Real quick, though, if you're not familiar with PDS, for the last 25 years, have focused on healthcare analytics and reporting. And we really break up how we help organizations like urology practices into three key areas: financial analytics, operational analytics, and clinical analytics. And what we found is organizations that have more data driven access to what's going on in their organization and those practice specific KPIs, they can really drive better performance because they're using data to leverage performance gaps and then try to focus and improve them. And so, if we want to talk about cornerstones to urology performance, we really have to talk about the five key areas that drive success in your urology organization. Patient experience, making sure patients are happy. We've got good surveys coming back, and the patients are not only pleased with the quality of care, but they're actually willing to go out and recommend the physicians and the practice to others. We're going to focus on operations. If we don't have good streamlined operations, understanding throughput, patients, the ability to get patients in quickly, and even how we're handling our referring physicians, critical to the performance in the urology group. Obviously, finance, making sure we're driving as many dollars to the bottom line and collecting as much revenue as we can for the services we're providing. Good clinical quality, making sure that we're actually delivering the best care possible. And then we also have to keep in mind how we're managing and working with our employees, and are they satisfied, and even encouraging the patients in a way that is driving both better patient experience, but also internal employee morale. So let's look at just a couple of the key things that we do to help organizations all the time. So what we're looking at here is a static dashboard, right? So we're looking at things like patient visits. We're looking at how long is it taking to get patients in the door when they're brand new and they want to be seen or they're referred into us. We want to be able to track benchmarks against our data. We want to be able to look at, for example, future scheduled surgeries, which may both impact, how many patients we can take on, but also has a dramatic impact on the bottom line. We may also want to look across and see what the top procedures that we're doing. Now, this is sort of a simple blended dashboard, a little more focused on operations. What are we seeing for follow-up and new patients? Are patients satisfied, right? And even, what is our referral rates? Are they climbing or dropping, right? So overall, we start to think about having data. Can we easily correlate the different types of data sets to tell us what's going on operationally, as well as, provide some insight into patient satisfaction? This is a fairly simple dashboard, but it's meant to be representative that if you can't quickly automate, put everything onto one page, you may be lacking in your ability to really understand changes in volumes. Okay. I can very quickly see, for example, that the number of office visits has declined from January to June just by having a better focused dashboard, as one example. So we want to make sure that we have all the right metrics that are important to us. Conversely, if we want to be able to provide a quick status of what's going on financially, how are things impacting, right? We maybe want to be able to put together, how quickly are we turning around our charges and getting them billed? Has our payer mix, has it changed significantly? And even again, trying to correlate both financial, AR, denial rates, but also keeping in mind that, are the patients happy? Are the patients out recommending us? So it's very important that we can have specific dashboards put together that tell us what's going on and where. And even when we think about value-based care or some of our payer contracts, it's critical that we can understand, for example, if we're participating in MACRA or MIPS, how are we performing in those different quality metrics? How are the physicians reporting in those metrics? And where do we need to focus? In this case, if I zoom in down here below, you can see physicians that are performing low on our MIPS scores, which ultimately will have both an impact on quality as well as on our finances. That's really where we need to focus. So being able to understand what are the top metrics we're reporting on, where we may be hitting or missing as both a group, as well as where are the physicians that potentially we really need to focus to try to drive these up. Okay. And these are some quick snapshots of things that you may be measuring, but you want to be able to not only understand what's going on, but be able to automate these and then be able to communicate them to the physicians, to the care teams, and even to the leadership across the organization. And that's the value of having good data. Now, I've showed you some what we call static dashboards. Maybe you're using Excel, or maybe you just don't have a lot of ability to sort of work with some of the newer technology. But Power BI, Tableau, a lot of this visualization software has gotten very easy for organizations to start to work with. And so we can do the same thing if we've got the right data and we know how to pull the metrics together. We can do the same kinds of things with the dashboards, but make them much more interactive, make them easier to distribute. And again, trying to bring data to the forefront of making good decisions and understanding where we have performance gains. So let's go ahead and take a look at a visualization. So what you see on the screen here, this is a visualization that really goes to the next level. It's not just telling us what we did, but it's allowing us to understand where there might be performance opportunities or gains. And this dashboard, is interactive, and I'll show you that in just a second, but let me walk you through what it's telling you here. Okay. We've taken all of the physicians, and you can see the same physicians in our group, and we've lined them up, and we've lined them up by from the highest of how many patients are being seen per 4 hour session. So this physician here in our example, Andrea White, is seeing 26.99, I guess really 27, right? It's 27 patients per 4 hour session. Conversely, down here at the bottom, we have physicians seeing just 6, 7, even 5 patients per 4 hour session. What we're then doing, though, is we're interpolating because we know how much we collect per visit, average revenue per visit. So all of these physicians below the department average or a practice average, the average revenue opportunity, if we were to move these physicians up to the department average, would be about $54,000. Conversely, though, because this is an interactive visualization, I can just highlight the bottom 4 physicians, and right away you'll see the screen changes. And these bottom 4, the bottom 20%, if you will, could be yielding up to 82,000. Okay. So across our data sets, when we have interactive visualizations, we can move beyond just what we did, but we can also start to predict the performance gains. And if we need to, we can slice and dice deeper into the data. Now, I'm just giving you a little taste of what we do here at PDS, but we can really expand and help drive your organization, whether it's through visualization technology, having the right urology metrics. We can help you put the pieces together so you have the data you need to drive performance success. Our ability to model data, structure data, means that not only can you have visualization, but you can drill right down to the patients, the providers, the procedures, and even how you're getting reimbursed per procedure, per payer. So we're a company that's all about helping organizations drive better performance, leveraging those cornerstones of excellence, and bringing data to the forefront so that you're not limited when you're managing, but you can quickly understand and identify where those performance gains, and then how do we measure and manage to them. We'd love to help you further. This is just a taste of some of the things that we do here at PDS. But if you'd like to learn more or see more or understand how we could help you move your analytics and your organization forward, please reach out to us.